So it's all about being in tune and living a fulfilled life. Yes, 5.8 year life. This talk this evening will be about moving mind and body. And when we talk about moving mind and body, at this time, the mood for most people at this time, I will say, Tarian, it's directed by COVID-19. You know,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Oh,
you know,
yes. Oh, yes.
all the talk, all the news, everything is about what's happening now, pandemic, we're hearing every day. So many of us, we find ourselves living in fear, which should not be, but it's happening. You know, we fear about getting the disease, we fear about losing our jobs, about not having enough income to support our family, we fear about losing our loved ones, and I can go on and on about all the different fears. But the 5.8 year life is all about moving those fears and getting you alive to be energetic, to look forward, to really enjoy life on the third act stage despite the pandemic. Okay?
Jen,
So,
I look forward to this section, and I am
yeah,
going to be right in the background listening to you talking about being in tune and living a fulfilled life.
live your best life. Yes. So, during the next three shows, I will be chatting with you about the three main areas about mind, body, and soul. And with mind, body, and soul all coming together in a very positive manner, definitely you will be able to move forward with your mind, your mindset. And with your mindset, the three areas that I want to touch on are your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior. And when we touch on it, I am hoping it will help you in your planning. It will help you make that shift to where you are now to where you want to go. And I keep mentioning third act stage because we are dealing with the 5.8G. So we are dealing with 50 plus. Some of you may still be in the workplace, looking forward maybe for your transition to the next stage, maybe going into your own business, maybe just to do charitable work, or, different, you may have different plans. So you may still be there planning. Some of you may have already left the workplace and doing what you love to do. You may have to make that little shift because of what is happening right now. So we are in different stages of life, of the 5.8G journey, I should say. And because we are at the different stages, you may find certain suggestions may not be applicable to you. But listen, when I share ideas, you will find that you can have it work for you. So are you agreeing then that you want to move from the low energy level to the high energy level? Because that's the only way that we can make it. And in doing that, we can help others. So let's talk about your thoughts. What are your thoughts? And the negative thoughts is what weigh us down. And for instance, you know, you're hearing a lot about the vaccine, and let me refer here in terms of, because we're in pandemic, and the medical, most of the all those in the medical field, the doctors, the researchers, everyone tell you that it's best to take the vaccine, because that's one way of us, having the herd immunity, etc., all the positives about it. But on the other side, you're hearing some negatives, and that may affect your thinking. So you may be a bit worried, should I? Because as I said, we are the 50 plus, we are the vulnerable AM stage. So you may be wondering, should I do it or not? And get bogged down with some negatives. Okay, so that's one thing. The other negative thought, of course, is money. You may not have enough money and all the fears I spoke about. So how do you shift that negative thought to being positive? I would recommend rephrasing. Be conscious of when you are speaking, what you see. So when someone come to you with a lot of the negatives which are affecting you, which playing, as we say, playing with your emotions, because after they finish chat with you, you're a little more confused, or you may be, you may be down, you may be in that low energy level. So my suggestion is you rephrase. So in your language, think when you speak, and use a lot of positive language. All right. So for instance, instead of using the negative words, you will say, okay, I am happy. This is what I'm doing to make me happy. And we'll chat a little later on about the things that will make you happy. So think nice thoughts. Surround yourself, as I said, when you're reading, if when you read, you're reading too much of the negative news, which is so much out there, then stop reading as much, stop listening to the news as much. So in your conversation, your first sentence would not be, girl or man, this is what happening, and you're only talking about the negatives. Instead of talking about the COVID, you talk about something else. Okay, so that's one way of rephrasing and changing that your thoughts. It's also recommended that before you go to bed, clear your mind of all the negatives. Think of things, think of all the positive, think of what you would like to happen to you. You could put on music to relax yourself. You could watch a show before you go in. Do the things that will just change that mindset. So that's quickly on your thoughts. Try and avoid the gossip, because a lot of gossip, they say a lot of false information outside there. And if we are already in a low energy and that negative mode, we tend to believe all the false information. So please, not everything that you read, not everything that is said to you, you have to take it at face value. It's always good to check for yourself, do some research to know that, yeah, that information is false. Okay, so watch what you put in within your mind, how you thinking. I also recommend some affirmations, and affirmations is just positive thoughts. Like I mentioned, the vaccine, initially I thought, wow, I have some certain allergies, etc. And from what you're hearing, if you have allergies, you know what's going to happen. So, but when in reading and in chatting with, my doctor, etc., and they will say, no, that's okay, you should do it. I did an affirmation, and my affirmation is that I am not going to be affected adversely by the vaccine. The vaccine will work for me and ensure that I am protected from the COVID virus. And that's my affirmation. And I keep saying that to put a positive, so I have to go in there. So you enter to take the vaccine with a positive mood. All right. So clear all the clutter before you go into bed and think all the positive. Nothing wrong. It's not costing you at all to think positively. All right. So let's move on to the second set, which will be about your emotions. So know yourself. You must know what type of personality you have. You must know if you are a person who very emotional, may get, feel down quickly when you hear negative news every day, you hear what is happening out there, all the negatives, that it gets you down. So know yourself. And if you are one of the persons that really feel down very quickly as a result of all the negatives happening there, then remove yourself from certain situations. So if there's a conversation going on, and if you eavesdrop and you that is about all the negatives, don't get involved in the conversation. Move yourself from that. Choose not to be among the people that make you uncomfortable. Stop listening to them. And you know what? You know, many of us on Facebook, and I have no problem with Facebook. I see Facebook as a very positive mood to stay in touch, you know, get certain information, etc. But on the other hand, if you're very emotional and if you one tend to listen to gossip, then or believe in the false information, false news or fake news, then know yourself. Know yourself. Guard against these sort of emotions. You know how you feel? So check yourself to see how you may be feeling. All right. So that's one way of guarding and helping you from becoming all stressed out, because that's what happening now. Many of us get stressed out because it's too much um, of the news bombarding us every day, whether it's on the radio, whether it's Facebook, whether it's television, newspaper all around us with the negative news. We have to sort of reinforce ourselves in such a way that you pile on the positives. You know, you pile on the positives. And that brings me to the third aspect, which is about your behavior. And when it's about your behavior, you should actually, I will recommend make a list. Make a list in terms of the things you love to do as against the things you don't love to do. Um, what makes you happy as again what don't make you happy. What are your hobbies? What social activities, especially now? Yes, people, um, we are known for liking to socialize and not staying home, etc., etc. Now it's different. So make a list because you need to change behaviors. So make a list on one side, all the things that you love to do, the people you like to be with, why you want to be with them, okay? The games you like to play, the type of movies if you're a movie person, the what type of books you like to read, what type of conversation that makes you feel good, all these things. So you make a list. So when you have that in front of you with all the things that make you happy, I don't need to tell you on the other side, you know exactly what will bring you down. So your focus on behaviors would be the behaviors that keep you on that high energy level. So I will recommend looking at those three areas. You know, you look at your thoughts, you look at your emotions, you look at your behavioral patterns to help you make that shift, move your mind and move your body, because in doing that, let me tell you, you are preparing yourself for the next stage, which will be making sure that you are healthy, you are active, and you could cope with situations. All right. So I want to leave you here. I hope this has energized you, have you thinking different, so you can move that body, you move that mind into a more positive state where you're happy with who you are, you love who you're with, and you love what you do. So, but I want to leave you with an exercise, because we're all about this new show, as Terry-Ann mentioned, is
Yes.
about engaging you. Okay? So, Terry-Ann,
Yes.
what I would love for our audience to do between now and next Tuesday prior to our show is for them to at least give us three things that they're going to do to shift that mindset. And I will say three things. One on the behavior. One would be to shift behavior, shift your thoughts and your emotions. And let us know by either those who on Facebook, of course, you could just, post. And we want to encourage you, please, and you would see coming up our website, the community page, to go on our community page. We started the community page very active this week, and post and tell us on the what three things that you're going to do differently to make you happy. Okay, so Tarian, this is it.
Excellent, Jen. Excellent, Jen. Many, many
Yes.
wonderful points. Really so important to get ourselves tuned in for that fulfilled life. We can't build that state if life is not fulfilled. So
Yes.
I am excited about going back. We did the mind, and next week is the body. I'm excited. I am
Definitely.
excited. Yes.
Yes.
So, Jennifer, isn't there a video that you wanted to share?
Well, this is a very, very short clip, and it's just a reminder that yes, out there, Tarian, we see the world as, connections with the plus. We see the world as the oyster, that we could continue dreaming and we can do and really create the life we want to create on the third act stage. Yeah.
So great. So, listeners, enjoy this little
The
clip.
world is our oyster, and we are going to experience its pearl. We can design all that we can become because we are always evolving. It's not the end of the road.
To become the best version of ourselves.